And man, this shit is so good. Mayama, right? Yeah. I just did a quick rap, y'all. Shit hanging everywhere. So I didn't feel like putting on a do-rag. After I got out the shower, I was like, yeah, man, I'm putting my shimmer on. I got like a whole bunch of them, so I was like, I'm not over in Iraq and I'm over in Dubai or shit, so unnecessary. So we wore them long before the Berbers who occupy our lands, the Arabs. They're not. We're gonna get into some things before I read. And if you can hang around, hang around. If you can't, you know, I know some people like to run off and pay attention to a whole lot of hockey-pocky, hokey-pokey shit. We're gonna talk about Yahweh. I hate saying that fucking name. I said it for the purpose of getting people to come over when I said it early. And I figured the little Hebrewites would come, but I don't have no respect for them because they don't really study their followers out there, and they don't know the spirit that occupies them. I'm done with them. So those of you who have let go and got it together, nothing against you, my brother Karamil, but you're gonna learn. That's why I say, come and be edified. Some people will easily dismiss something, saying that was made up. I remember going over the 6,400 different names of this motherfucker. We had a 1 billion-man army on the earth for a reason. Stupid motherfuckers. And we respected our giants that fell in battle. We buried them with our beloved ones because they were our beloved ones. That's right. For those who like the word giant, there's a better word for that. But we'll just use giants. I want everybody to come on in. Come on in and get this edification. Because we're going to wake some things up. We're going to shake some things up. This is some tea time before the tea time. See, I love everybody that know everything, but have no patience. The two, they've been weaponized against us, but the two most potent weapons is patience and time, which we have still. Obviously we have them because we're all running around like a bunch of fuckheads. Oh man, I'm gonna tighten it up this AM. Oh, this afternoon. To me, it's still AM. We're gonna talk about Yahweh. It's funny how people don't even know how to pronounce it appropriately. We're gonna talk about a few other things. This is so good. They always say that they hate you before they love you. Always say, well, where there was light became dark. So out the darkness came light. So you're going to stay dark or you're going to become light. maybe we'll smack somebody mama. We gotta put some water in this because it'll solidify and get hard, y'all. We don't want that. In a little bit, man. Stop walking in front of me like you just in a feisty wanting to fight now. You just want to test your gall. I'm gonna pick your ass up and throw you down the stairs. See how many lines you got after that. We're gonna step all that fighting. No, I'm just kidding. No. I gotta fight. I gotta let him fight, y'all. He's gotta attack the feet. He's attacking the door now. And it's perfectly fine. I just find it fun. Don't look over here at me, man. Here. Oh shit, he's coming. No, stay away from my toes, man. He got a thing with toes. He don't like toes, y'all. All right, so let me go ahead and come ahead. First, Hebrew. It's not a fucking religion. Hebraic. Or it's an ancient people. It has nothing to do with religion, some outwardly God or nothing. It's a way of life. It has nothing to do with the shit you see right now on the fake front of the Ashkenaz, who are part of working with Balboa. Do y'all know what that fucking name alludes to? Besides the trickster, Loki, 6,400 other fucking names, maybe more, maybe less. See, what troubles me is when people do this shit and I'm making light of it and they don't even pay attention to what I'm saying on the other hand because they are stuck. Yesterday was the first time I ever mentioned, no. When Facebook first came out, MySpace, I said, do y'all know y'all have a worshiping gene put in you? I talked about the X chromosome having the caps on the end. I says that it's been recorded and known for a long time and hidden from history and medicine. When I was pre-med, I saw it again, so I mentioned it. About 3 years before I was poisoned by the dumbitch, who's probably watching. I know hate. I say dumbitch because you're dumb when you do things like that. It's not even lower self. It's slave you. It is not the real you. And emotions that are bound with all these things, the crayon colors, you pale skins, you motherfuckers are starting to be the etymology of real stupidity. You show it every day. Even though it's a handful that come out of it. But the majority of the time is to keep up. Look at all these cats right now. I had to go and correct two of them who I respect highly. Talking about, look at the statues. I says, are you paying attention for a year, almost year and a half? They went and reshaped the face and the heads of every statue around to fit a narrative to be the last one to implant a fake white superiority. They had, because I saw 20 sculptures, pictures, silver of the original heads, and they were Negroes. From the one in Chicago, the one in San Francisco, the one in what's called the Bay over there. All of them were Negroes. They turned around and showed their heads before and after. Somebody, a woman or somebody, took the before and after pictures. That's right, standing over the water, looking like this at the monument over in D.C. on what's called, where I Have a Dream and fucking the Lincoln statue, all that shit. I gotta say this, and the pictures are still there. You can look them up. Right now in Italy, with those vagabonds who are lost to time, we're talking about the Ashkenaz running around over there, and the hybrids. That means the mix. And so I don't say this with hate. No, plenty of them around. I don't like that word hybrid, but it is the hue of a man. Listen to me. They were running around with a statue or a motif y'all call black because you're too stupid to snap up out of that black shit. But a melanated woman with an orange, black as the new orange, and chains around it. No, that's not everybody. That's just the obscured. The ones that dress up every year, like in Germany and England and everywhere else, and do blackface for the Moors. And you see, you don't know no better. So, again, even the statue, they gave you a luau of the original one. And y'all believe France made it. They changed the dynamics of it. Even though it looks like a pale skin, it's still a Negro. What does it allude to? They made it into a false goddess. You don't get it. There's somebody behind it all. So Hebrew, whether you like it the fuck not, Gabriel and everybody else, it's a way of life. It is not a fucking religion. Stop being mindless because you don't know no better. I watch you guys all the time. Callie, all of you. And you don't know shit. Now you're going in the right direction, but you haven't meditated, you haven't cleared your mind, you're still eating shit. Then I alluded to somebody, right? I said, well, you know what? If you take a minute and stop eating meat, oh, I gotta be vegan. First of all, people didn't eat fucking meat, you retards. How long have I been saying we don't know what a chicken, a pig, or a fucking cow is? We know where it comes from, but that was never part of our diet. And our scribed on the walls are hidden in the floods. All in the texts that were dug up by melanated people that held on to it instead of showing it to the world because it's Smithsonian and they would have been murdered and everything else. You haven't been entitled to this. You know what you're running around doing? Opening your big mouth because you feel some kind of way. You know what that's called? Worship could be to a false premonition or a fake God, and that's why he wants you to worship him. Yahweh, Christo, and this, that, and other, or everything else, and you have no fucking clue. That which we fought to destroy and we kept ourselves safe from. You stupid motherfuckers. Listen to me. Just fucking listen. For once in your meager little fucking simp-ass lives. I said, it's AM, I'm going to give some fucking tea. It took a little while because I took a little time. I wanted to get some chin-ups. I wanted to weigh myself, take a cold shower. That about drove me crazy this time because I like them. Cold showers are worse than sitting in. Getting in the cold water is one thing. Letting it hit you, oh my goodness, you turn around, it changes every time. But then you get up under it on your head, and it's so enlightening. So anyway, I said I'm going to rack some motherfucking brains. I'm going to make the pussies run, and I'm going to make the real men stand their ground on their stupidity. I'm going to see what they really know. When I said to you, when you wasn't fucking born, a 90-year-old Masonic woman, an 87 and 85-year-old man dropped gems on me. I had to drink 12 drinks. Why? Because there were other people dropping gems, like my great-grandma, my great-great-uncles that took the oldest of my family down in Old Town Winston-Salem and made sure we knew some things that would always stay there because we weren't eating fucked up food. So you don't know shit. And I am tired of you motherfuckers. Every time I see y'all stuck, that's a curse. You know, Facebook is a curse. YouTube can be too, but you know you're more powerful than that. I keep telling y'all don't even do the things you need to do. You're still stuck in fantasy fucking world. You won't come up out of it. You got to let go of the fantasy. You got to attribute yourself and the reality of the fantasy world from yourself to rewrite the narrative so you stop tracing a dream and become that. You speak it. You don't say today, just, could, would, that. No, you say now, this very moment. So let me read something to you. I shared it and nobody even fucking, only a couple people looked at it. You know, the ignorant, well, maybe they're shadow banning, which I doubt. You can always go over and look at my shit, but some of you think you're so fucking great. You're pathetic. What is Yahdaboth, the God of? Well, in the archontic, Mesraim, not Israel and all that shit, Scythian and Ophite, San Francisco, the statue, all right, systems, Yahdaboth, Yahweh, is regarded as the malevolent demiurge and false god of the Old Testament, who generated the material universe. Oh, he's back. And who you think he's been controlling, take our identity, create religions, because he was the one that had a certain group of individuals who came here from wherever the fuck they came from, fuck with our people after the flood, and put in this worshiping gene. The deluge, fucks. Universe, and keeps the souls trapped in physical bodies in prison. Listen to this. Old Testament, who generated the material, and you don't even see this in this is the original writings, not this shit the Ashkenaz changed. Generated the material universe and keeps the souls, it's not in Google, goddammit, keeps the souls trapped in physical bodies, imprisoned in the world full of pain and suffering that he created. But in order to create it, a slow process had to mean winning wars, and he had to have a select group of individuals who were chased down, not for the benevolence, but for their betrayal. Maybe brought from outside. The story of the pale wolf and the dark wolf is real. Who do you think kept them at bay? Oh, and I know they give you the gods of Egypt. Oh, I'm going up to see God, my father is keeping the dark from the earth. Shouldn't Havwa? But y'all run around praying to the darkness, you dipsticks. I told you to stop. Believe half of what you read and none of what you hear. Don't take my word for it. Fucking get up for once while you can if you ain't jabbed the fuck up, because you knew this was going to happen. And go out there and see, instead of going to a mound. Look at me, I'm at a fucking mound. Click, 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 click. Fucking dig a hole somewhere. Notice that a wall that looks like it's very old might be fucking 10 millennia old. And you might want to excavate around that motherfucker. You don't need these. The president ain't the president of this country. He's not the president of shit. They fooled you into that with these stupid ass teachers and everybody else. He's the president for the motherfucking maritime shit of that motherfucking crown. The corporation. Not you. Can't. I'm an ex-executive order. Look at all the shit he got to do. It ain't going through us. Nobody's paying attention. They want to take your guns because they know that you can harm some shit. See, for those of you who got them. And the fact that they hid that your felons could have them too was because they wanted to make sure that you didn't know that. So that's why these little fuckboys are running around with these badge and costumes, and now you see a lot of foreigners doing it. Well, they're grafted in while you don't know no fucking better. I said breathe. Pale skins, stop the bullshit. We birthed in over 200 a year, melanated women and men. The rest of you? Well, you don't have to believe it. Unless you want to know about the push at the fall of Alexander and betrayal by Hannibal. It's always a betrayal on this side. All the way pushed to Northern Africa. How you think it went from green in the fucking 16 to 1700s to a desert in the 18 and 19s. And right up to this fucking point. Because you were clean, but you weren't clean up here. It's called leprosy, albino albinism. Well, we had tribes here, but they were perfect. That's a way of life. You were put away because there was still love and affection. Well, look at you now. You run around like a fucking bunch of idiots. Oh, porn never had nothing to do with us. That was y'all for about 40 fucking years. 50. And then our dumbass women, because our fucking men dying in war, got caught up in it for monetary, with something that never existed. Oh, you don't know that, do you? You weren't even going to ask the truth to it. Fake ass white, fake ass black, all this crayon color. I'm so sick and tired. Yes, so you new youngins, your 20-year-olds, 30, whatever the fuck, talking about Tartaria, Russia, and Asia. No, you never mentioned this part. You know why? Because this is the old world. This is the first part to seep about the fucking water. As far as the ground level, it was all connected. It still all is. It's a lot under the fucking all the water. What? Well, the flood was real. Go fucking happy lucky. And that's recorded everywhere. And they always talk about, oh, in China, those didn't even fucking exist. I guess they're doing that with temporal agreements and delusion to make sure that the fucking fake names that are created in the 1600 illuminates to a new world order. I don't care how you fucking feel about it. I'm giving some tea. Oh, we're at the end of the fucking road. Y'all don't get it, do you? No, I know you don't get it. Now you want to go, you want to hear somebody argue, scream, and cry with some old half-ass bullshit up. Well, today I'm going to give you some real fucking tea. See, I watched long enough and I'm tired. When I was talking with a couple of guys from France and all this, oh yeah, I brought breakdancing over there. Well, who are you? My name is James. James Branch. It was a Twin City breakdancer. I said before they started making Coca-Cola commercials in Nova Scotia and anywhere else. Before the motherfucking Run DMC and them started traveling. I said I was over there showing you motherfuckers how to do windmills and backspins and fucking up rock. Korea, everywhere. Hawaii. Everywhere. Oh, man. Little young motherfuckers. I was a gymnast. Capoeira, martial arts, kung fu, karate. Oh, and you know, big heads, little minds don't know no better. It was important that we take it around. Because we share it. We share. That's what we do. That's how we created everything. Why are all the inventors of most shit here in America? Negro. You want to allude to that fucking goofy word. But the gods of the fucking earth. That you love the word God. That's right, you pale motherfuckers. For every action, there's a reaction. And you dumb sell-out Negroes. Jamie Foxx. Even Mike. Who gives a fuck about all that? Y'all are so caught up in the drip, you don't even get the motherfucking where the motherfucking blood's coming from. You don't know the main vein. That's right. And y'all don't study for shit. You don't know what to look for. You don't open your minds, open your eyes to know what the fuck is. I detest the word God. You know that. But to allude to something to have some kind of cause and effect for you to know other than, there's a reason for shit. And there's a reason why not everybody's fucking supposed to be running around opening their fucking mouths, because you don't know what the fuck they're saying. Look him up. You want to know how to spell it? It's Yalda Boath. Yaldaboath. Fucking idiots. I don't. The two people that's running around conquering the countries that couldn't do it here. Well, the mongrels. Yes. You want to call them Berbers, brutes? Nah, whatever. There was mixed with Negroes, but it was mongrels and mongrels. What is that? Pales in the freaking New Asian. They're not the original people of the sheep people. They're not the original people. They're mixed in just like they did fucking here. And then, not with everybody. We just wouldn't allow it. But the certain period of marriage, certain people, because of the affection and the truth of their heart, were allowed to marry into certain families. Does it mean that the blood rivals in us? No. Y'all don't fucking get it. We respected the earth as it was, knowing more than what is perceived. Somebody was utilized, and there's a lot of shit about earth you have no clue about. And yet you jump around. And then when somebody shares something with you, you run off as if it's your information. It's everybody's information. As if you found something new, or you're out there a geographer or whatever these made up scientific bullshit names. The scourges of lies hiding the truth of history. But you don't get it. You don't fucking get it. Look right now, we got motherfuckers that believe in bullshit. 16, 9 likes, right? I said I'm gonna drop some C and see how they deal with it. We got a bunch of goofies who don't know no fucking better. I'm not here to prove shit to you. Don't want to fuck about your business. Go back and follow the people you're following and chase the slum dogs. Or maybe you're Masonic, or maybe one of them other goofy fucks that don't know no better. I'm not here to befriend any fucking body. Everybody wakes up at a certain point. And there are those who woke up long before me who haven't said a goddamn word, and there ain't shit you can do. There ain't nothing you can do to start or stop anything. If you were smart enough, you make it your business to do the right things, but you won't. So you're looking stupid. There aren't no secrets. It's just the knowing and the not knowing. And the majority of people that claim to be in secrets don't know shit. Must I go back to absence, nescience? Talk about the true origin of Buddha and all that other stuff? Man, you motherfuckers don't want truth. You want something that appeases your little fake-ass appetite. Grafted into you and you don't even know how. And if you did know, it wasn't removed. You can only remove it. Only you can stop everything that's prolific in destroying yourself. Only you can breathe. Are you starting to have an understanding, a better, not a non-compromising permission of when I say breathe? Are you starting to pay attention now? It was coded. I thought some of you would have got it. Not one of you fucking got it. So maybe I had the wrong people paying attention. Or maybe they did and they haven't said nothing. Breathe doesn't mean this. It means take a different walk. People stay in places they shouldn't. They occupy and they allow themselves to be trodden down and beat down. You know, worship doesn't mean worshiping a false god either, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It means also worshiping pain, worshiping suffrage. I've been saying this little thing where I tell people, you know, how to say this, have this little saying to better yourself, how to free yourself. And you know I keep it as, but I'm willing to release this condition, or release this pattern. Because you know, a pattern will have you having you in all kind of experiences and conditions. So I'm willing to release this pattern of me, so I can stop suffering from all these conditions, experiences. Those things that negate negativity in your life. You say that over and over. You speak it. The word abracadabra, I speak it into reality. Anyway, nasal, to deceive. Do you have to always be in deception? See, this is what I'm talking about. We hear people putting up all this information, but you ask them a backstory. You ask them how is it laying there. The Malaga Island, you know? The brother that went there, the fishing community, you know, fuck out of here. He was Indian. They said African American, these goofy pelskins are doing the narrations. And African American and white folks. And it was an indigenous motherfucker talking about he saved a motherfucker from a shipwreck and then he was a slave. Bullshit. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all are so stuck in your fake world to think that you're so above, and y'all follow and listen to this garbage, this bullshit. You allow it in your lives as if it's benevolent. You stupid. And then you want to speak as if you're something instead of being what you're supposed to be. If you think that you got to put on a purple garb and walk around preaching some bullshit religion out of a fucked up Bible scripted out of pure nonsense, yeah, that's the lowest of you. Like I said, free me from this pattern that keeps creating this experience and this condition in me. Do you know what that does? That relinquishes the pain, the dark rings around your eyes, the time, the thought of time. It doesn't reciprocate. You don't care about the next day or moment. It's unimportant. You exist in the now to elevate, to breathe. Do you know you carry 14 to 16 generations worth of encoded DNA going back? 16, you know how many far 16 generations go back? It's in you. You know why you can't see it? The crystals in your brain your synapses don't fire off with the information. Every once in a while you get a glitch. Or in a dream, you wake up. Something alerts you. That's supposed to be happening all the time. Or you look and somebody looks at you at the same time, you know why? Because the cap's on the end of your chromosome. That worship gene has been having you blind looking somewhere else because you don't know no better. We don't worship shit. Listen to this. Natural order. Do you know what that means? Why would I, a creator, create something, you can see this in scientists, and have it worshiping me? Am I just delightful in what I've created? I am happy? For them to worship, that means now they got to take away time instead of what they're doing. Something that creates something doesn't need to be fucking worshipped. How simple-minded can we be? Am I making sense, people? Or is it senseless? When I tell you you are more powerful than you can fucking imagine, it is not a game. It is not a joke. Not random. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's a network. It's happening every fucking second of the day. In between that second, I don't recognize time. No, I stopped a while ago. I wasn't going to say nothing to you. Everybody's like, why? Yeah, bad thing. You know, all the emotions. Wow, you just got your feelings hurt and you just got all angry and upset and this, that, and you feel some kind of way about a new truck. I did everything with a purpose. To show you how broken and weak you are. But to tell you that that is not who you are. You are beyond the scope of fucking what you see on a movie. Okay. Respect. Hey, Shakira, you just popped up. I'm going to go ahead and read. And I'm going to read this afternoon for those who are new, because I need you to be able to pick up, and it's no problem. The most powerful weapon we have is patience and time. So we're going to read The Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Wall a second time. I got rid of TikTok. They've got enough information here, and the AI is already studying. The AI will never perfect me. No way. Trust me. I destroy it before it can perfect anything. So anyway, with words. That's simple. I'm going to read this, and we're going to get through this pretty quickly because I want to make sure when I go on to the next books and finish off Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset, Exposing the Exposition in the Mud Flood, which all three, based on these as well as that, all allude to the next books that are coming after that and the ones that should be arriving, and books that I have that are very old. And we'll get into Tartaria. And I'm going to break that down to you very well. Somebody laughed at me again. Somebody in my Gmail, you're Tartarian, huh? I was like, oh, and so I sent back a message. Thank you for acknowledging that. And I'm glad that you find that you're happy and that you're full of love. What else am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to entertain the fact that they're stupid? No, he is much bigger than the stupidity he harbors right now. See, those are nothing but words. They allude to something that you actually are, but don't mitigate the truth of who you really are. You see what I'm saying? You pay attention to what I just did? So, we'll be reading this afternoon. Today, we're going to be reading the Book of Giants after I read Enoch and Flatlandis. Why? Well, with Flatlandis, I'm actually supposed to be reading these two books. Well, it's a whole bunch of them, actually, but I'm not going to get into all of them. But I wanted to read Arthur Koestler. I've got so many goddamn books, and I love the fact that I have plenty of books. But the Arc of Vedas, this is right here, Turn the 60 Canopy Pies, all based out of the Flatlandis. There's different lives, this, that, and other powers and everything else that allude to something else. Now, even though a friend of mine, Ray Floyd, expressed me in this book, I read deep and I look at a lot of references and sources, and I'm surprised at some of the information I find from other writers. I'm like, holy shit, this is shift, paradigm. What was causing the shift? What happened? This is what y'all don't know how to look up when you look seeking keywords. Because it's there. You just need somebody to hold your fucking hand. No, you don't. You need to stop pressing yourself around people who want or don't want to elevate themselves, such as you, and you need to elevate yourself and stop being afraid. Stop having fear. Fear is what produces or allows things to harm you. If you're not going to be here, you're just not going to be here. Doesn't mean you're not alive and you don't exist. You must focus. They'll keep sending this, talking about that, a bunch of bullshit. Why? Because certain individuals who fell consummated it in ignorance. You see what I told you about the fucking so-called birth certificate? The fuck out of here. I was like, where's my certificate of life with my little footprints and shit? Motherfucking old dumbass negress, old ass broken church, old worthless. And I hate to say this, but it is what it is. Working for the enemy, don't know it, and so stuck, mind is fully gone, automaton. Giving the light for the dark. I guess now you understand Star Wars a little better. Yeah, I know. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just how it's delivered. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead, and I think that was enough fucking tea. Yes, Hebrew or Hebraism, Hebraic, it's a lifestyle. It is not a religion. It doesn't mean you dress up looking like fucking Goku, Krillin, and Vegeta, and Dragon Ball fucking Z. The fucking Goodyear blimp with accessories. It's not what the fuck it is. That is blind madness created by hypocrisy and idiots who want to, probably in their graves, well, I don't know, I doubt that, but laughing. Not really. They're fucked. They can't change, but they've mitigated. That's for the motherfuckers who keep on that same little stupid train you're on. Oh, ride it to the end then. Be the sickness that you are. Now I got these little dumb fat chickers coming on. I'm like, I'm sharing the information for other people to look at it, and hopefully with regards to they'll go and research it. These little foreign little dumb fucks don't know what they're doing. They're so stupid. They think they know. They're so stupid. CNN. Also, part of the family. Oh man, you can't make this up, people. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. See, there's no great I am. It's like, how do y'all sit there and get so stuck on these platforms? And y'all just keep going like you fucking stuck, miming people to death, don't know where the shit's from. You just over and over and I found something else. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And take it personal. I want you to take it fucking personal. I want you to take this personal. I haven't said a fucking tenth of what needs to be said. Oh, you don't fucking have a clue. Balenciaga, Nike. Look at those distractions. Goddamn everything. Levi, Strauss, motherfucking Wrangler. Even shit with no names. Fucking hands have touched everything. Come on, man. You might as well walk around butt fucking naked. Stop being culpable to the fucking hypocrisy, the stupidity, the shit that's going on. Are people that simple? They can't perceive that or conceptualize from that? Everybody needs a talking point, a focal point, something to be up one up on the other, on the next. Grimes a fucking dude. Going through a transition, so what? It's like the Navy SEAL Beck. Transition, 10 years ago. Realized CNN and he was naive. Oh, Celestial Forces don't mean you the motherfucking greatest thing. I have friends, right? Ex-Delta and stuff. They just mention that and they pretty much get their foot in the door. As long as it's practical as far as they got the degree and this, that, and other, and they really want to make those 6 figures, and depending on what they're going to give, or unless they go for work, go establish the work for themselves. But they're just like anybody else. I mean, I know people are locked up right now, been locked up for like 20 years, that motherfucking run through them courses like it ain't nothing. Like it's an obstacle that's and who take cold showers on the fucking regular, been hit with hoses, and gotten used to it and realized the benefits of it. Motherfucker, hey, went Harvard to death, okay? You'll never hear nothing about that. Maybe you know something, maybe you don't. And they'll never be out of fucking jail. We're talking about bad motherfuckers all the way through who have heightened themselves to a place of light, enlightenment, and darkness. And I mean, they would never let them sons of bitches out. So there you go. But anyway, he realized CNN and all that. You can look it up. I'm not sharing no misinformation. That they used him. He was naive. I guess he liked boys. He felt like a woman. He went through a transition, but he felt like he was pushed there. He's transitioning back to a man. Thank goodness. It's a good brother, man. Regardless of what he's done in his life, it doesn't matter. All right? But when he realized that it was to circumvent the shit you see right now, all of a sudden, just like the drugs, all these little things for transitioning fucking babies who don't know no better, what kind of, see? But y'all keep talking to some fake ass guy. Hoping, you're the first responders, hoping on some certain motherfuckers to alleviate the issue. They're part of the fucking problem. You keep swaying, oh, Red, but you said there's good guys in the FBI and the CIA. I can't say everything, but there are. Their purpose ain't what you think it is. I can't sit here and allude to this, that, and the other because I don't know who the individuals are. I know they're there. But I know this. The majority aren't there for the right fucking reasons. It's against you. Believe what the fuck you want. I don't care. I'm not here to stop them either. You're either going to snap up out of it, they're going to trigger something. I'm not even worried about that. But you're either going to snap up out of your fucking coma, or you're going to stay right there where you the fuck you at. Makes me no difference. I'm just here to fucking shoot the message out. Other than that, I give a fuck less. I have no emotions binding me to any of this shit. I am doing something because something won't. One day, boom, there it was. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I felt some kind of way. I was all jittery. I was like, what is this? Holy shit. That was what it was like. Being kicked down the fucking street, getting up with no bruises and nothing broken, going, what in the fuck? What? Well, I guess it's some of y'all's turn to get kicked down the fucking street. Hopefully some of y'all happen soon. I'm tired of talking to people that don't fucking know how to listen. Oh shit. I love you. Otherwise I could just shut the fuck up. I think it's going to make it interesting. Who remembers what chapter we were on yesterday? Chapter 89? I thought y'all be paying attention. Oh, I know. Oh, there's so much going on in the world on my job and this, that. Shut up. Remember today. Just do it's a little exercise. So whenever I stop, I'm going to say, oh, this next chapter, just remember it. It's the only time I'm going to say it. Oh, this is fun. You know why? Because I feel that there's more importance in people snapping out of where they're at. Instead of always being told the same shit over and over and over and over. I went to like 5 different, and there's only one who I really know that's breaking shit down. I mean, really breaking it down. That's Caramel. Yet it's my port to allude to some other things that the majority don't know a fucking thing about. So there we go. Now, Book of Enoch. And one, chapter 89. And one of those four went to that white bull. If you don't remember what the four is, any of y'all remember what the four? And I raised my eyes again to heaven, and I saw in the vision, and behold, there came forth from heaven forth from heaven beings who were like white men. Beings who were like white men. And four went forth from that place, and three with them. It doesn't mean pale skin, so pale skin is just relax. Okay. And one of those four went, chapter 89. And one of those four went to that white bull and instructed him in a secret. Without his being terrified, he was born a bull and became a man, and built for himself a great vessel and dwelt thereon. And three bulls dwelt with him in that vessel, and they were covered in. You know what covered means? Protected. And again, I raised mine eyes towards heaven and saw a lofty roof with 7 water torrents thereon. And those torrents flowed with much water into an enclosure, flooding the earth from the dome. For those of us who use the dome, all right? And I saw again, and behold, fountains were open on the surface of the great enclosure, waters from beneath. And that water began to swell and rise upon the surface. And I saw that enclosure till all its surface was covered with water. As I said, on every land, this deluge was spoken of long ago. Not some 2000 fucking. I said that earlier just to point at something. But yeah, and it wasn't the way it's played out. Okay? It was to stop Tartaria to a sense. Surface and was covered with water, and the water, the darkness and mist increased upon it. And as I looked at the height of that water, the water had risen above the height of that enclosure, and was streaming over that enclosure, and it stood upon the earth. And all the cattle of that enclosure were gathered together until I saw that enclosure, not all the others. And all the cattle of that enclosure were gathered together until I saw how they sank and were swallowed up and perished in that water. But that vessel floated on the water, while all the oxen and elephants and camels and asses sank to the bottom with all the animals, so that I could no longer see them, and they were not able to escape, in parentheses, but perished and sank into the depths. And again I saw in the vision till those water torrents were removed. Go read Gilgamesh, and there's about 20 others. And I saw in the visions till those water torrents were removed from that high roof, and the chasms of the earth were leveled up, and other abysses were opened. Then the water began to run down into these till the earth became visible. But that vessel settled on the earth, and the darkness retired, and light appeared. But that white bull which had become a man came out of that vessel, and the 3 bulls with him. And one of those 3 bulls, one of those 3 was white like that bull, and one of them was red as blood, and one black. And that white bull departed from them, and they began to bring forth beasts of the field and birds, so that there arose different generations: tigers, wolves, dogs, hyenas, wild boars, foxes, squirrels, and swine, falcons, vultures, kites, eagles, ravens, and among them was born a white bull, and they began to bite one another. But that white bull which was born amongst them begat a wild ass, and a white bull with it, and the wild ass multiplied. But that bull which was born from him begat a black wild boar and a white sheep, and the former begat many boars, but that sheep begat 12 sheep. And when those 12 sheep had grown, they gave up one of them to the asses, and those asses again gave up that sheep to the wolves, and that sheep grew up among the wolves. And the light and the Most High, or the Creator, or whatever you want to call it, brought the 11 sheep to live with it and to pasture with it among the wolves. And they multiplied and became many flocks of sheep, and the wolves began to fear them. And they oppressed them until they destroyed their little ones, and they cast their young into a river of much water. Who is to say that is not happening now, regardless of the deluge? Because see, with the deluge, as is written over, world over, though it was immense, there still were lands. There were ships built. Gopher wood grew here only, nowhere else. So that would be Noah, right? Noah's Ark alludes to what? You know how many Negroes I know going back 300 years are named Noah? And until the 20th century, all of a sudden, certain Jews and people will call themselves Noah. This is real history, y'all, real information. But depending on who writes it and how they write it, we already caught certain things, so we know that it's to push something. But who created the deluge? Did we bring the deluge because of the enemy? What was really going on? Was the deluge brought to stop us? You know, there's a belief that something made it through the floods. Well, we're going to see that soon. And I saw till they left off crying for that sheep and crossed that stream of water. You know what that is about the brothers. Anyway. And crossed that stream of water, and there arose the two sheep as leaders in the place of those which had led them and fallen asleep. Parenthesis lit. Had fallen asleep and led them. And I saw till the sheep came to a goodly place, not godly, a goodly place, and a pleasant and glorious land. And I saw till those sheep were satisfied, and that house stood amongst them in the pleasant land. And sometimes their eyes were open, and sometimes blinded, till another sheep arose and led them and brought them all back, and their eyes were open. And the dogs and the foxes and the wild boars began to devour those sheep, till the Most High of the sheep raised up another sheep, in semicolons, a ram from their midst, which led them. You know this story, but it's so binocularly different. And that ram began to butt on either side of those dogs, foxes, and wild boars till he had destroyed them all. Where did you see that in the fucking Bible? And that sheep whose eyes were open saw that ram, which was amongst the sheep, till it forsook its glory and began to butt those sheep. It's kind of told like upside down a little bit in reverse, y'all. And trampled upon them and behaved itself unseemly. And the Most High of the sheep sent the lamb to another lamb and raised it to being a ram and leader of the sheep, instead of that ram which had forsaken its glory, gave itself up. Well, you see that in the Old Testament. You don't see it nowhere. And they went to it and spake to it alone, and raised it to being a ram, and made it the prince and leader of the sheep. But doing all these things, those dogs oppressed the sheep. And the first ram pursued that second ram, and that second ram arose and fled before it. And I saw to those dogs pulled down the first ram, and the second ram rose and led the little, in semicolons, and led the little sheep. And those sheep grew and multiplied, but all the dogs and foxes and wild boars feared and fled before it. And that ram butted and killed the wild beasts. And I know when I said white, red, and I know y'all was thinking about people, yes, but that's an insert. Is it a lie? Well, you got to look at all the other stories. What can you acclimate it to? Enoch the original book belongs to one billionaire. Who is it? Nobody wants to fucking speak on it. I believe he was in France for a long time. I don't know. I never heard of him dying either. I just know that somebody owns certain books, original copies, and this is supposed to be the richest motherfucker. As far as, I guess, currency goes, gold, whatever, who could amount that? Why would one person, and yet the history of its truth be known, and secret societies, occultists, hide that? So all this has been flipped up on its head. But you must have understanding. You must learn how to breathe. You will know things. I'm not going to sit here and pick every fucking thing out for you. I just can't. So the beast had no longer any power. Anyway, and that ram butted and killed the wild beasts. And those wild beasts had no longer any power among the sheep and robbed them no more of aught. And that ram begat many sheep and fell asleep. And a little sheep became ram in its stead, and became prince and leader of those sheep. And that house became great and broad, and it was built for those sheep, in parentheses. And, boom, a tower lofty and great was built on the house for the Most High of the sheep. And that house was low, But the tower was elevated and lofty, and the Most High of the sheep stood on that lower tower, and they offered a full table before him. And again I saw those sheep that they began again erred and went many ways, and forsook that their house. And the Most High of the sheep called some from amongst the sheep and sent them to the sheep, but the sheep began to slay them. What is that story? So was something in reverse? And one of them was saved, and one was not, and one was saved and was not slain, excuse me. And it sped away and cried aloud over the sheep, and they sought to slay it. But the Most High of the sheep saved it from that which was over the sheep, saved it from the sheep, and brought it up to me, and caused it to dwell there. Brought it up to Enoch, or Methuselah, Enoch, and caused it to dwell there, because Methuselah was before the deluge. We lived to be very old. So no, the deluge was roughly not that long ago, people. And after that, even though the buildings are still stand, they were dug out of the ground. And with all attempts to reignite them, and some places worked, but not well enough. So we're going to stop that there, and we'll pick it up and mark that. Oh, man. We'll pick it up from there tomorrow. So, you just heard a whole lot of so-called Old Testament and yet you heard it in a totally different vocabulary. And it amounted, and who would do that? Amounted to beast. After the flood, the hue of a man. Does that mean that something was manipulated and changed? Of course. That's why I'm reading it, people. You take something that is of origin, reality, you make it numerous over the lands because many would carry the story, so therefore it would change as they reoccupy. And though they attempt to tap back into the source before that kept the earth for millennia, for thousands of years, not no little 2,000 shit, for fucking hundreds of thousands of years protected, safe. And you go with a short term, 2,000 years ain't shit, y'all. And you systematically destroy it because you're pissed. And what better opportunity do you have to do that when everybody is not around, and you can mitigate yourself and rewrite history and make it seem so absorbent, so so absolute that nobody changes their mind, nobody looks at it different, everybody just runs with it, go yeah I'm gonna run, yeah I'm gonna run with that, I'm gonna hold on to that right there. No. Sometimes you got to go a little deeper into what it is to know a little better. Okay? And everything's right there in front of us. Like, how in the fuck can you not see these little things? Excuse my language if any children, I doubt it, children are watching. I'm glad the imbeciles left. I'm so tired of them. I can't wait till they get their just desserts. I really can't. No, it's because it needs to happen. And pig-headed motherfuckers need to stay pig-headed. Yes, they do. So this ecstatic euphoric experience, while incredible and worth striving for, should not be seen as the end goal of yogi or Zen. Now, I read this yesterday because it talks about Kensho. This is Flatlanders. So I'm going down to the bottom, and we're going to get to the Kensho. Which is salvation. The salvation is an inside job, not outside. Because there's a power, there's a natural order to things, y'all. And we've been at it for a long time. So the Kensho Kundalini experience should not be viewed as the end goal or final product of meditation or yoga, but more like a signpost that the practitioner has reached a certain level, similar to martial arts students receiving their black belt. A lot of people buy them, though. Anyway, a black belt does not mean martial training is complete. No. Or that, I mean, I've made it only the 5th Dan. Some people, even though I've challenged grandmasters and won, I think some of them were frauds. I don't know. It's always supposed to learn. Training is complete, or that the practitioner has reached their peak. Far from it. The receiving of one's black belt simply means they have completed all the basics, people, and are now ready to spend a lifetime perfecting them. On the spiritual path, our main focuses should be the blossoming of compassion, the dissolution of the ego, that means to destroy, that means the love was the first one, destroying the ego, the refinement of character, building a better building, a sound firm, on a sound foundation, which is the earth. That means planting your root. And other loftier pursuits than a mere Kensho Kundalini experience. So what does that allude to? Love and compassion of self, destroying the falsehoods, and making sure you have a firm foundation, a solid house. Okay? What does it say in religion? It tells you it all the time, but nobody practices it. Ye are gods. Take care of your vessel. Make sure it's built upon strong foundation, not just Peter bullshit. Why is it that people can't discern the messages, even in the truth, hidden with lies? In Christian esotericism, there are the concepts of 7 levels of heaven, 7 levels of hell, 7 deadly sins, and 7 heavenly virtues, which directly correspond with the 7 yoga chakras. Fact. For a Kundalini to rise, the yogi cleanses and opens his chakras. Y'all didn't say sit straight, right? Through a process of not only physiological stretching and, physiological, but also psychological self-development composed of 7 steps, each belonging to a physical location in the body. For example, the first root chakra related to security and survival, when closed, corresponds to the deadly sin of greed, but when open, corresponds to the heavenly virtue of generosity. Remember I said hot and cold? It's one and the same. It's just degree of temperature. You're going to be hot or you're going to be cold. It's just good and bad. It's the degree. You're going to go that way or that way. You're going to be what you are. You're going to have order to your life and stop choosing a sign. That doesn't mean riding the fence. That's an scapegoat to make you choose a sign. There's no such thing as riding the fence. There's no in between. Fuck both of y'all. I'm good. How about I'm going to follow order? I'm not going to sway that way. And that has to make me be something instead of me allowing me to be what I'm supposed to be. So I go perversion, or I fucking allow somebody else to determine what is good? No. So anyway, belonging to a physical location in the body. For example, the first root chakra, I'm reading it again, related to security and survival. When closed, corresponds to the deadly sin of greed, but when open, corresponds to the heavenly virtue of generosity. Vice versa, right? Greed or generosity. The second sacred chakra, related to sexuality and relationships. When closed, corresponds to the deadly sin of lust. But, I love this. When open, corresponds to the heavenly virtue of chastity. Chastity is a beautiful thing. You know how they perverted that with a porn movie. Thus, a selfless person who sincerely and diligently develops all 7 virtues helps open themselves up to Kundalini awakening, and is also allowed access to the 7 heavens. Whereas a selfish person who completely and unremorsefully indulges in all 7 vices, conversely, closes themselves off from Kundalini and finds themselves in hell. Hell is the perception of that which is the opposite of good. That's all that is. You know what the pedophiles and the homos are, well, in the Vatican, excuse me. Correlation to correction. It's a fact, though. They wanted you to believe in some kind of fire. And they use visual. That means to murder the innocent. To attribute themselves because they're sick. They're without anything. The concept of 7 heavens and 7 hells is nearly ubiquitous in the world's religions. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, and reference this idea and color it with connotations of the afterlife. Y'all might want to look into that Jainism, Jainism. I bet y'all never knew about that. In the microcosm, we create we create our own personal heavens. I love this. And hells based on our development of virtues or indulgence in vices. In the macrocosms, the bigger picture of things, these life choices and character traits are then corresponded with afterlife worlds and 7 ascending levels of heaven or 7 descending levels of hell, depending on each individual's karma, hiring and lowering. For example, in the ancient Mesopotamian religion, Earth was presented as a flat disk, because they were right, covered by 7 domes, each one containing different celestial bodies. These corresponded to the macroscopic, macroscopic, 7 heavens, whereas the 7 chakras within the individual corresponds to the microscopic 7 heavens. So the bigger universe is the several inside. So they're actually correct. You see the mirror? Remember I was talking about harmony, vibration, balance, as above, as below. These also mesh and correspond quite well with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which place upon a series of steps the various physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual necessities for a fully developed, fully realized human being. We're going to leave that alone. You've learned quite enough to know the difference. Just like the yoga, so the hue of a man is based upon the conscription of the chromosome, right? So the perversion of it makes one believe something else is done. No, you're bigger than any man or human. Anyway. Just like the yoga chakra system and the esoteric Christian system, Maslow's hierarchy begins with the base physiological needs like food and water at the bottom, and safety needs like being secure from danger. Near the heart chakra, we find belonging needs like being loved and accepted, along with esteem needs like being recognized and respected. As we reach the higher chakras, we find cognitive needs like knowledge and exploration, as well as aesthetic, needs like order and beauty. Then once all the lower physical emotions and psychological needs have been met, finally the crown chakra of self-actualization, the spiritual work of finding self-fulfillment and realizing one's true potential can begin. And they have a pyramid, which is pretty, it looms to something. So here's the ancient cosmology. And we know what the word throne of God means, but we know that we're talking about the black negra rock negra, the North Pole up to the Polaris. And we know there's plenty Earths like ours, which we alluded to in Enoch. Why you don't find that in the Old Testament in the King James Version, which is our bibliography, which he took back because the world over was being run and conquered in the 13 to 1600s. Tried here and got shut down. 1400s, they tried here and got their ass whooped. 15, 16, it took up to the fucking fake ass civil war, Revolutionary War. The original first president, which he wasn't. Abe Lincoln was a fucking king. A Khan. Fucking. Y'all better learn some things. Then right here over here, we have the pyramid to which I just read about the 7. And I'll read them out to you. So as you see right here, you can pull this up too. And this is based on, remember we were discovering as far as the Maslow's, that's MASLOW''S, all right, hierarchy, all right? So that's where we get this, all right? Maslow's hierarchy, all right? You have the physiological needs, the safety needs, all right? The belonging, the esteem, the cognitive, the aesthetic, and then the self-activation, which is self-awareness, which is not hard to do, people. All right? So I'm going to shut that down right there. It's not hard at all. Actually, it's happening with younger people. Like a mother, you would think that it can happen. Yes, my older brothers and sisters. It is happening with younger people like a mother. I don't know how many. I just know that is happening. And a lot of y'all won't pay attention to see it because you live in a world of so many afflictions. You won't free yourself from the patterns that keep you in this experience, these experiences and conditions that keep you blocked away from your realization, your reality. You see what I'm saying? And the beautiful thing about it is you can see it for yourself. You can see it for yourself. See, look at the ones that didn't hang around as if I wouldn't change. You know, I had to drag a beat along, right? But the thing is, because there's a lot of people who are never going to be ready. They're going to bow down and they're going to commit themselves to the infractions. And some are going to walk right out there and allow it because they know their purpose. They know where they're going, so they're not worried. And they're going to be people who get strength from it. It's a triggering effect. There are going to be people who see people drop down who can't breathe because of chemical weapons. They're going to see things blow up, hillsides, and towns go underground. They're going to see all kinds of shit. Now, he could change that. They could change that. So what part are you going to play? What's the dynamic? You don't have a clue. But are you ready to play any part at all? You're not even ready to play a part in the life you're living. Oh, I'm going to beat you in the head. Introduction. The discovery of the first Dead Sea Scrolls, remember now, okay? Just be mindful. No religious contextual at all, regardless of the dynamics of the people writing it. Because you got to remember the people writing it have an objective. Whether it's to fit their narrative or one, this is the message we can pull without or within. The discovery of the first Dead Sea Scrolls in a remote Judean desert cave in 1947 is considered one of the greatest archaeological events of the 20th century. East of the city of Jerusalem, which we know that's not what it is, the mountainous landscape plummets 1,200 meters to the lowest point on Earth. This is the Dead Sea. Many biblical stories are set in the caves and hills of the region. Here, King David fled from King Saul and hid in the desert's mountain caves. Here, Yeshua struggled with the devil. This is all just for reading contextual, okay? Remember, struggled with the devil, resisting temptation. Here, the community of Qumran, hid their most valuable treasures, scrolls of ancient wisdom and religious insight. There was no such thing as wisdom 2,000 years ago, or over 2,500, excuse me. For thousands of years, the Judean desert held secrets buried by the Hughes of Qumran, a group most scholars refer to as the Qumran community. Much of this community was made up of the Essenes. Okay? This strict sect of Judaism used the caves to protect the literary treasure, which were scrolls hidden in sealed jars, placed deep. We know this is all fake history, but let's keep moving forward. Within the caves, perched high, I cannot read a book without reading it as it is. You know, it could be a problem. Treasures, which were scrolls hidden in sealed jars, placed deep within the caves, perched high in the area of the Dead Sea. These scrolls and their secrets were revealed by a young Bedouin shepherd one day in 1947. Prompted by the loss of one of his sheep, a shepherd of the Tamanarek tribe left his flock to search for the stray. While searching, he found an opening in the steep hills. Now, anybody knows that these Arabs are not the original people of those lands. Those are the Berbers. The original people, most of the people you see in Ghana, this, that, and all them places now, are Great War people. Yes, Arabs, don't get upset with me, motherfuckers. You're not the fucking original people of the land. So stop it. Be all right with it. Some of your old people even speak that truth. While searching, how do you think I learned it? While searching, he found an opening in a steep hillside. Curious as many young men are, he tossed a stone into the cave. The rock answered with the sound of pots breaking, and he was compelled to investigate. He had stumbled on the greatest find of the century, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yes, Abs, you feel some kind of way? I don't care. You're from the Mongol side of shit. The fake New Asians. Just do yourself favors and fucking relax. In the caves were a number of pots. The majority of the pots were empty, begging the question, had vandals and thieves been there first, stealing much of the precious treasure? Some of the jars were still intact, and with lids sealed in place, he opened the seals to reveal the ancient scrolls. They were wrapped in linen and blackened with. I have no respect for anybody that has sex with little boys and fuck animals. Age. No rubies, no diamond, no gold, just a bunch of old scrolls turning to dust before his eyes. He was not impressed. Wondering if he could trade them for anything of value, he and several companions brought the scrolls to Kondo, a Bethlehem antiquities dealer. For appraisal, Kondo seemed to recognize the age and value of the find, so he sent the Bedouins back to the caves in search of more treasures. They returned with a total of 7 scrolls, and the boys had no idea of the value of their find, and so the Bedouin sold 4 of the 7 scrolls to Kondo and 3 to a second antiquities dealer named Salahi. Kondo in turn resold the 4 scrolls to Archbishop Samuel, head of the Syrian Orthodox monastery of St. Mark in Jerusalem. We're going to read the rest of this later. Yes, this is just getting it, the history, break the beginning. This is not even the beginning of the book, because that's going to be something friggin' awesome. Yeah, I was up to reading it last night. You know, I went to bed early, but I was stretched out. You know me. And I said, let me open this book. So the Aramaic version of the Book of Giants, which is so we have to go through all the diatribe. Okay, it's just the way you gotta respect the introduction. We gotta respect the writer. Okay, so and that's what we're doing. And this is by Joseph Lumpkin. So we're gonna respect. You go outside of that. Me inserting thing is one thing, but going outside of that, that's a whole nother dynamic. We can't do that. I'm marking this. I have a few books on giants. This is one of the guys y'all guys help me purchase. I'm going to read it because I find it it's going to get into all that with that Book of Enoch, the Atlantis, holy smack. The information is spread all around, all over the place. It is everywhere. But the thing is, being able to pick up all the information, sit up straight, Red, and be able to dissect it. Does that mean that I'm doing it right? Who said I'm doing it wrong? We've already been living a whole bunch of lies. It is up to you to do further research. And I'm not going to stop buying books. There's thousands up there. I would be here and be like, look, send them here. They can go through my library. So that's what the Cashapp's for. It's one thing if I decide to monetize this shit, but I prefer to, $5 or $10, man, and keep buying books. I am like, the thing is, I just know what books to look for. I share the information with people. The appreciation was what it is. It's usury. Which, that's not cool. It's always the lower set that's going to dig and do things that have nothing to do with the reality of the truth of how we exist. And the usury is not who we are. That is such a bad low self. You know what I'm saying? It is. We have to come out of usury. So what I'm going to read later, I'm going to read that. I'm going to finish the introduction. So tomorrow, when I go ahead and read Enoch and Atlantis, you can get a better, as far as the Aramaic version of the Book of Giants. And this is like the original version. And then we'll get into this later on this afternoon. We'll get into Heaven Bearers. We'll get into the exposing and expeditions and the mud floods. Because one leads to the next. And it's, you already know where this story is going. Right? And then later on, we'll worry about Paradise Found and all that stuff. That is based on Flatlands as well. Let me read this right quick, and we're going to shut it down. All right. Now, remember I said about Yal the Boy. Look it up. All right. I know we had a couple of religious people, a couple of agents, which I don't really give a fuck. Look up Yal the Boy. Okay. Again, that's YLDABOALTH. Sit your ass down. All right. But remember this: you are willing to release the pattern within you that is creating the experience or this condition. You have to speak it out of existence, and you've got to allow your body to adapt. You need to fast. I'm not telling you to quit eating meat. The body's already dynamically been polluted with it. Now you can change it, but I would require or ask of you to stop eating meat for about 2 to 3 months. It's not complicated, y'all. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to go through whatever natural chemical changes that need to happen. And it might be a battle. You might feel like you're about to, I'm just saying, you feel your body full of shit. Sometimes your body's got to go through a bunch of stuff to get rid of that. All right, shit. So, and then once you get to a certain place, I'm about to eat a salad here in a short period with a little salmon. When you get to a certain place, then allow yourself to go, okay, and allow things to start registering. But you've got to repeat things over and over. You have to assert things over and over. And as you do that, it becomes memory. And you know what they say about the memory muscle, right? It's not just repeating something just to remember it. You repeating it just to remember it and also to live it, to make it practical to who you are, truly are. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to give a shout out and I'm going to sign off, to come back later. Rondo, my brother, Mama Red, Marcus Reynolds was happening. All right, you already know. I'd rather you splash it. There's a spot on it, Brother James. You smudged the camera. Oh, wow. I didn't know. I thought it. Oh, okay. It looks pretty good to me. There's a light. That's the light. Okay. Yeah. That's that little spot. I saw it when we was talking. I appreciate it. Carl, what's going on, Sister Nelly? All my family up in here. Mama Red, stop retweeting your messages. Oh, if you misspelled, take your time. Now, hold on, Mississippi in. What's going on? I ain't seeing what's going on, brother. Shakira, hey, what's happening? Shatahaya, what's up, beloved? West Side. Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. Your voice teachings are my theme music on the constant replay. Well, I appreciate that. The Leiluge seems like a good trick to kill giants. Actually, giants were after the fact. Those giants before, the giants before were perversion. But the giants afterward was something different. They came here to help. And there were those born from us. Just like on the other side, the bad side, there was giants that we had to fight. Historically, man, and we actually won. Right now, though, fuck all that. We need to snap up out of this coma. Fuck the fake history. There are those who can read. Doesn't mean that we've perfected it, because the information is within everybody. The information is within you. I don't care what you say. Anybody. If you're going to meditate, you got to kill your fucking egos. That's the biggest problem that we're dealing with. Why do you think so many motherfuckers came here and left? Whatever they believe in, the lie, that's whatever. I don't care what HC, what corp, who the fuck they work for, it don't mean shit. Trust me on this. That's their fucking problem. Okay? Now, if you want to accept being blinded to further be pursuing, and you want to be conditioned and have a motherfucker hooky pooky your ass and to continue on this journey of fucking delusion, so be it. But I'm telling you who are not on that, on the other side, on this side, right? You got to snap about it. You got to kill off the ego. You got to kill off all that bullshit you think you know. You got to allow yourself to actually know what's inside you, because the information's in you. And once you'll start seeing shit. It's like, what's the name? And They Live, Roddy Ryder Pepper, putting on the shades. You don't need the shades, y'all. You need to take the motherfuckers off. That was the message there. And taking off the shades, the blinders, you'll see shit. And you'll see everything for what it is. When you're watching a movie or you see a cartoon, shit'll stand out. That's why I don't watch a lot of shit. I'd be like this, holy fuck, can't believe that's there. But I don't go say nothing to everybody. You should already know it. They continue to prove it. You already know. If you're not seeing it, that means that you haven't snapped about your fucking coma. Okay? I appreciate everybody coming over. The Cashapp ain't gonna break your fucking pockets. The dollar is worthless any fucking way. But still, I can purchase books a lot more. I will always try to match it as best I can. I ain't gonna break myself either. You greedy son of bitches. But races, they can raise money and they're the dumbest sons of bitches on the planet. Sadly. But what we can do is keep pushing forward. and we don't want to cross the line and be too reckless. But I'm not into that black and white shit. I'm not into the red and yellow shit. I'm not into the fake world history. I'm just not. I can't be. I can't. There's just no way I can. I can never go back to that. If that's where you're at, and then you mitigate your own terms of surrender. Because you surrender to a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I'm not going to mitigate for you because I don't even recognize you. If you're stuck there, you keep your ass there. I'm going to come over and get on the boat that's, floating through a little place where it's got a couple little obstacles. Come on. We can mitigate those obstacles together. If you want to stay in the Jannah, you stay in the Jannah. You want to come over to the Hawa, you come over to the Hawa. So yes, when you hear motherfucker talking about Yahweh, you tell them, get the fuck out my face. Let's say that the enemy says, this is the name. I don't think nobody knows the fucking name with all the lies we've been living. Let's say that it's mitigated and they playing it to play a double. And they're going, boy. Just study. Just look at everything. It's up to you. I'm not worshiping shit. I'd prefer to live and have order to my friggin' life. And that's it. You do your thing, I'm going to do mine. I'm going to get somebody over here. Nicholas Randolph. Much appreciated, brother. He just sent dollars. Appreciate that. It's going to stay there because like I said, I just ordered four books. 2 I got to wait for it to come out. And then the other one, they're saying that I'm supposed to be able to pick it up. I pick it up and order it this week. So we'll see Thursday or Friday if I can get that book. And that's another book that's out of Flatlanders. There's remember I was like 15, 20 books. So I've got 3. I want to, if I can get all those, man, that's just, especially about the Nigga of the Rock. Because I've been looking at that and pulling up certain things about dude, there's a few books on that. I was like, and the key words, I was like, I ain't never, no. I'll probably just purchase that myself. They're kind of expensive, like $55 or whatever. But, I'll just probably get that myself. But anything helps. And, I'm going to keep reading. And I'm going to introduce new books because we're getting at the end of some books. So, it's going to keep going. And I think that is very important to keep those crystals and keep the synapses firing and question everything. Believe half of what you hear and none of what you see. It's optimal. That means don't even believe what I'm saying. Do the research. Invest in yourself. You're investing here because I'm investing in you to do the research to pick up your mantle. You can't pick up mine. You can't walk in mine. Mine's is for me. I can be a guide though, right? So a student who becomes a teacher who remains a student. That is, and we never stop. Appreciate you again. Love you all. Respect. I'm going to see y'all a little later. Have a good one.